Everybody likes to start talking about the MVP of week 1 of the NBA, which is always kind of hilarious. But we're going to smash that record and start talking about the MVP right now in May. We're going to predict guys who have a chance at the MVP.
Wait, this is like Mel Kiper's draft for next year, the day after the draft.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
1.0.
Yeah.
All right. So here's why it's interesting is because you look at the usual suspects will be at the top. If Shai, the Thunder next year probably going to have a really good record, barring injuries, because their roster is deep and sustainable. So they're probably going to win 60-plus games, which gives them an inside track. He's probably going to be the main offensive engine, just the same as this year. And he might be coming off a championship. If all three of those things happen and he has anywhere close to a good season, he already will have an inside track because he'll check every box.
Yeah. There's no question. I mean, he's gonna win it. He's young. It's not like he won this award in his early 30s. He's young. He's on a team that now 2 years in a row had the best record in the West. I mean, I can't imagine, to be honest with you, a scenario in which they are not the number 1 seed next year. I mean, and a lot has to go into it, but they're so deep. They're so young. They're so talented. They're so great defensively, which gives you a chance every night, even when you don't shoot well. They're gonna have the 1 seed again next year. And who knows how many years in a row they might have the 1 seed in the West. So the wins will be there. The numbers will be there, barring an injury. So you're right. He absolutely has set the stage now to be the front runner.
Right. And so he, to me, will be the favorite. And then I think Jokic next year, look, Jokic has the same stats every single year. They get slightly better. I don't know if they'll be better, but he averaged a triple-double this year. If you were to ask me what does Jokic average, we don't even know what his roster will look like. I'm going to say 26, 12, and 9.5, like a triple-double average or real close. He's probably going to have 60% true shooting. So his numbers are going to be great, but will the team be good enough? I think Jokic will be back in the conversation next year just because he's so consistent, but I would not put him first. I think he's still down the list a little bit.
I'm going to make a bold statement, and you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this. Number one, I mean, I think it would be fair to say the Nuggets aren't like trending upwards.
Yeah, they're not at the moment. It doesn't feel that way. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they're trending upwards. Okay. Meaning, are they going to be a 4 next year? Maybe they're lower than that. The other thing is this, I got news for you. I'm going to break some news to you right now. If Nikola Jokic did not win an MVP this season, he's never winning another MVP.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, but I like that you're putting your flag there.
No. It's over. Listen, he won 3 in 4 years. He won 3. He's got a title. Okay, don't get greedy. I'm telling you, if he didn't win an MVP this season, while Denver was still considered by a lot of people like kind of in the championship mix, I don't know that people are going to view them that way at the start of next year. And I think, like I said, they're not trending upwards. He just had the best statistical year, not only of his career, it's one of the best in the history of the NBA, and he didn't win the MVP. I don't think Nikola Jokic will win another MVP. I think it's going to stop here at 3. And look, LeBron won 4 and was done by what age? What age was LeBron when he won his last MVP?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. That usually happens early.
Even though for the next 8 years, he was regarded the best player in the NBA. It ends at some point for different reasons. And it ended, I think that's it for Jokic. I don't know that he's going to win another one because it's not just Shai. There's other guys that are in the mix. And I think you want to talk about a couple of those guys before we go off, right?
Yeah, for sure. So then the next guys I'd look at, Giannis, the question is, where will he be? He's not winning, I don't think, an MVP in Milwaukee, but there's a chance he gets traded this offseason. And Giannis is still statistically dominant. He's still not even statistically, he's still dominant. And if you put him on, if he ends up in a place where they are a top seed, to me, Giannis goes right back into that mix because we're going to start to look at the defensive impact, the efficiency, and the wild numbers.
I think Giannis has a better chance than Jokic for what you just said because he's going to end up, I believe, somewhere else. And he's not potentially. I mean, I think he's going to try to guarantee he goes to a team that can contend for a title. And there's no way Giannis is ever going to go anywhere, no matter who he's playing with, and average 22, 8, and 6. Giannis is going to put up 30 double-digit rebounds, 5, 6 assists, and a block and a half. He's going to be in the all defensive team category again. No matter where he goes or who he plays with, he's going to put up those numbers because it comes that easily to him because he's such a force. So the question is he on a team that people believe can win a title? Why would you go anywhere else if you're Giannis? Force your way to a team that you think you can win a title with, and he's going to put up the same numbers. I think Giannis is still in the mix, even though he's older than Jokic.
Yeah. He might be a good bet just because you're betting on a trade here, but I don't think he's going to do it in Milwaukee. They just won't win enough. So here goes the next category for me. Luka Doncic, if he, comes and shows up in shape, he's got the Lakers PR machine behind him, which is, the biggest media contingent. They're going to be, if the Lakers are remotely good, he's going to have a lot of momentum. You have Anthony Edwards. If his stats get there, he's kind of making a leap. We'll see how this series goes, but there's momentum going into the next year. Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Haliburton. That was like the next category. I don't think any of these guys are winning it. But you carry momentum from a deep playoff run into next year, and then your team's a top 2 seed, and you have good stats. That's the argument.
Yeah, I like it. And I'm going to talk about the Luka factor real quick. I think he's absolutely, you have to thrust him in there, even though a lot of people right now are down on Luka because of the trade, the post trade, the way he looked, his defense got attacked, all that stuff. People forgot about his greatness individually in Dallas and winning games by himself because of the way the season ended for the Lakers, getting beaten 5 games by Minnesota. Luka, some of it's going to be dependent upon what does this guy, how serious does he take it? Does he take some of this criticism to heart? I know he's never going to be out there, pulling, hitting a blocking sled on the beach, like in the off season. Okay. he's not that. All right. He's not Apollo Creed training in the off season. He's never going to be that, but can he take it a little bit more seriously? Can he show up in a little bit better shape at the start, ready to be like, do damage like from day one? That's key. The other thing is this, and this is what we need to think about with Luka Doncic. And what year did he come into the league? Can you tell
18
me?
or 19? I don't know. Have it in front of me.
All right. Well, I'm just looking at their years since
2019.
2019, he came into the league. So 2019, 20 was his first year.
Yeah.
Here's the problem for Luka. He's never been on a team. 2018, 19. He's never been on a team that won more than 52 games. I got news for you, man. It's hard to win an MVP if that's where you're coming from. It just is. It's tough. It's been done. Westbrook won it with, I think, 147 that year, averaging a triple-double. He won the MVP. Basically a team of role players and him, and he won an MVP. It can be done, but my point is if Luka really wants to win an MVP, his numbers could actually be a little bit lower if the Lakers go in 62 games next year. Yeah. Now you're looked at differently. You're coming from that 4 to 6 spot all the time. You make it really hard on yourself. It's easier for people to pick you apart. If you're at a team that's like right there, now OKC's going to have the 1 seed in the West. I'm predicting it right now. If Lakers are 2 and they win 60 games and they're within arm's reach of Oklahoma City most of the year, and Luka puts up similar numbers, he's got a great chance to win the MVP. He's got to be on a team that's got more regular season success. And some of that's on him.
The next guy, so now we get to the fun ones because, Ant, Haliburton, Brunson, they're all good players. If their team has a top year, if they just, whatever happens in the offseason kind of will help determine that. But if they just win a lot of games, they can be in that mix as the next year. But here's the dark horses that I think are fun. Number 1, Joel Embiid. If he's able to have a healthy return, what better contrast is there to this is what the team looked like without him? You come back, and if you're back in the mix, we know he's going to put up dominant numbers and be efficient and all these different things. I don't think he's winning it, and I don't think he'll be healthy. I don't think he'll play the game, any of that kind of stuff. But if he does, it is a nice contrast to say they weren't good without him. Look how good they are with him.
I never considered it, and I think you're actually making a great point, man. That's a super intriguing take because of what they plummeted to the depths this year. I call it the lost season. If you look it up on Basketball Reference, there will be no line for the Sixers organization last year. It didn't happen. The season didn't happen. If they come back and you look at some of the issues, Tatum out for the year, right? There's ground to be gained in the East. The Cavs flame out. Like the Knicks, if the Knicks lose this series, who knows what's going on? Who knows? Tom Thibodeau could lose his job. It's possible. You don't know what could happen with these teams. If the Sixers just stay at pat and bring those 3 guys back. And I agree with you, by the
And
way.
it works.
Embiid's not going to have a healthy year. It's hard to imagine. But
yeah.
if they did, and he puts up those kind of numbers, you're right. He could be back in the mix, man, because of the stark contrast from this season for their organization. That's a good one.
But here's my real dark horse, Victor Wembanyama. Again, health is an issue here, right? Is he going to be able to be healthy long enough? But he is so dominant defensively. And if this could be the summer they pivot to trying to put a team around him, if they have anything of a decent team, how many block shots is he going to have? Number one defense, all these different things you put around. All of a sudden, the team success will be there for him, and people will start to really analyze the defensive impact he makes.
I think that's a great call, because actually when you texted me, we were going to do this today and I put some thought to it. He was one of the top guys on my list because there's so much unknown of what, how quickly will that get there for the Spurs? Yeah. Obviously you've got to be relevant. You got to certainly be, above 500. You got to be, and I saw somebody make a point, I made the point about winning games and they said, well, Jokic won it when he had 48 wins and Luka won 52 that year. Yeah, I get it. So the combination of just statistical absurdity you can put up, you can be in the, I guess, 48 wins and above, whatever. For the most part, what I'm saying is if you're in a team that's near the top, your name is going to be talked about all year for the award. If you're down in the middle of the pack, it's going to be out there, but it's going to be harder. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying it's impossible. So the question is, Adam, how good are the Spurs going to be? And if Wemby is like freakish, even by his standards.
Yes, he will be. He will be.
Next year, even by his standards, I'm saying that. What if he, can he make the jump next year, in your opinion, to 28 points a night?
To 13, me, what team do they put around him? Yeah, I mean, what team do they put around him is part of this, right? Like if he's playing alongside another superstar, and I'm not talking De'Aaron Fox, I'm saying if they build something there where you look at it and go, man, he has a running mate, I just think it's possible they win a lot of games. And yes, it might be possible he's more efficient than ever because the emphasis is on another player on the offensive end.
Is that the end of your list?
The only other guy I had was Cade Cunningham, which I kind of like here. Was that your guy? Is that who you wanted to bring up? No,
it was not. I got you gave me a great head scratcher, a thought provoker in Embiid. I thought that was really smart. I got one for you that could be a head scratcher where you go, oh, damn, okay.
All right.
How about Anthony Davis? Come on.
It's actually more practical than Embiid, to be honest with you. The Embiid one was even more wild.
Look, man, if now you're going to go, let's say you go half a year without Kyrie, or at least it might be more than that. It might be March, right?
Number one defense.
And you're doing, Anthony Davis stuff. The key is staying healthy. Like the year he had in LA when he played, 70 games, like you got to play. Can't have these injuries that keep you out weeks at a time. You play. He's obviously a just multi-dimensional player, does all those things. And let's say Cooper Flag hits right away. And he's making up for a lot of the Kyrie loss. And he's it, man. He's like right away as a rookie, impacting you on both ends. You still have a good roster around Anthony Davis. You win enough games that you're kind of in the mix in the West. Kyrie comes back. You have a late season push. You're even better. And you play 70 games. You're Anthony Davis, put up those numbers, and the Mavericks are top 4 in the West. Now, I just gave a lot. It's a reach. I understand. But I'm just saying, he's got the talent. He's got the talent. It's another dark horse. I think Embiid's a dark horse. I think AD would be one.
I like it just because they were scary defensively when they're healthy, and they just added Cooper Flag. Will he be great defensively right away? Defense is tough in the NBA, but he's certainly going to give it a go, and there's a chance. And I like it. If they're just the number one defense next year, and they're a team that they get to 54 wins, even though they can't score, but they just shut you down, that's their identity. You know what?
There's one guy you didn't mention, by the way, that I think we probably should. How come neither one of us? And I think I'm partly to blame as well. Neither one of us mentioned Jalen Brunson.
I put him in with Tyrese Haliburton. If you have a good run to the finals.
I didn't hear you say his name. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I think a lot of that has to do if you make a finals run or win a championship this year, you have momentum. You could do the same thing and then you have momentum into next year. So they're on my list. It's a long shot. That's a long shot. Well, let us know in the comments. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, here's what it really is for me going into the season. Next year, it's going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out in front of the pack, holding the
you're right.
baton. He's holding the baton coming around the home
Yeah.
stretch. He's going to have to drop the baton, which means an injury or something crazy. Because I think you win it this year, you're going to be on a team next year that's going to win 65 games in your sleep. I think he's going to be clearly the leader and the favorite going into next year.
I see in the chat, Charlie says this whole segment was a reach. Yes, we're talking MVP 365 days ahead of when it'll be advanced. It is definitely a reach.